Here with Service Six Sigma. We are in fact here early. You are joining our live stream early to watch our pre-reels that we have on our live stream. We play this for about 10 minutes and then we will start our show at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you.
And what you learn really fast as you get older, and some of you are getting older, is that time goes by a lot faster, right? My kids, when I first started my business, my 15-year-old now was, 12 or 3 years old. And over time they get older and you don't realize that you only have so much time with your kids. And, I seen this statistic not too long ago. By the time your kid turns 18 years old, they are already, you only have 10% left of them from the 18 on. And so you get 90% of your time with your kids within the first 18 years. And, I seen another a thing when you start putting dots on the board of every week. And when you're at 16 years old or 15 years old, you don't get to see your kids much anymore. And so as I'm a big family man. And so I am big on, what are you doing for your family? Now, when I was running my pressure washing business and, I was a full-time fireman at the time, and I was working 100 hours a week. I was working 56 hours at the firehouse, and I was working 40 hours, 45 hours on the business because we had 4 trucks running. And whenever you start getting to growth method, things break down and you're not always there. And so after I sold the business, I really came to the realization of, you only got so much time to spend with your kids. You only got so much time to spend with your family. And it is important that you do that.
Back in June of 2001, someone left me unconscious on the side of the road in a hit and run motor wreck. I lost my career in IT. I lost my savings. I lost a photographic memory. I was messed up. Fast forward a little ways to July of 2002. I have an eviction notice from our apartment. I have turned my BMW into the bank. I'm waiting on Italy to make parts for my Ducati. I am 2 weeks out of a full shoulder surgery. I'm in an isolation brace, a neck brace, and a morphine pump surgically implanted in my shoulder. I call up one of my buddies and I say, "Hey, will you come over and shake my couch out for me?" He laughs. He comes over. He shakes my couch out. I grab all of the change off the floor and ask him to run me to a dollar store. I buy a bottle of awesome window cleaner, the cheap stuff, and a roll of paper towels. I also buy an empty squirt bottle so I can water down the LA Awesome window cleaner. The next day, I shove my sling just full of paper towels and I hook the bottle of window cleaner on my belt hoop, and I start walking down the road, going business to business, just simply stating, "Hello, my name's Brian. I'm poor, I'm hungry. I'd really like to eat tonight. May I clean your windows?"
Want to hear more of Poor Man Brian's story? Visit www.service6sigma.com to hear his full story. We also have many more great podcast videos to hear from as well. If you want to be part of our future podcasts, please message Ben Bergloff or Perry Tate on Facebook. Thank you. We have many guests that we have on our show. Be part of a growing community of guest speakers and share your professional insight in the mobile service industry. Welcome to a free live stream built around 6 sectors. This live stream created for mobile service professionals. We would like to introduce you to your hosts, Ben Bergloff and Perry Tate. Welcome to Service Six Sigma, your live stream for mobile service professionals.
Boom. You're muted, Perry. There we go.
I'm going to go. Oh, I was. Okay, so here we go. We are live today with Nic Staton, and I'm going to introduce him in just a second. But first, I'll give you a quick hoedown on what is Service Six Sigma. Service Six Sigma is for the service industries, not just our ones like the window cleaning, pressure washing, exterior services, but also we're going to invite people from all sorts of industries, from the roof to the carpet to the electricians to the plumbers and all that. So we're going to be able to swap notes about what works really well in one industry and whether we can apply it to other industries and see if we can maximize our business. Now, the Six Sigma part, well, Six Sigma is actually a genuine business term. It's the process of eliminating all things that can go wrong by creating systems and processes to avoid them. But of course, as an entrepreneur, we always know, like, to expect the unexpected. So you can't know what's going to go wrong. You don't know what to improve until things happen. So that's the Six Sigma part. And what we're doing is getting guests in who share from their business how they make themselves better, make their business better. And then we're all on this little journey towards Six Sigma. But the airline industry and the nuclear industry kind of have to be Six Sigma, right? No risk for error. What we've done to make it easier to talk about businesses, we've broken businesses up into 6 sectors, right? So the first sector is called attract. That's your marketing, your social media, your influencing, your wrap, your uniform, your hat, cap, everything like that, you know. And that's how you're going to get people to you. You'll know your business that exists. Then we have the convert. That's the sales process, which could be face-to-face. It could be door knocking. It could be over the phone with Google Earth, or it could be automated with something like Responsibid, right? So then, having converted the sale, we now need to deliver the sale. So then we talk about tools and techniques and on-site safety. Then when you've got all of this happening and your business is starting to grow, you need control. So that's your CRM, your systems, your standard operating procedures, putting everything in writing. How do you do everything in the business so that you can go to the 5th stage, which is scale. Scale is the adding of additional services to your business and or the multiplying of the trucks that you're using to deliver your services in the business. When you've got all of this, you are a perfect guest for Service Six Sigma, and you get this chance to give back to the community with little gems, little nuggets of wisdom. So today, the man giving back is the man on a mission, the man with the muscles, the maximized man, Mr. Nic Staton. Bring him on, Benny. Where is he? You missed that one. Ooh, where is he?
Internet quality, maybe? I don't know.
Are you there, Nick? I can see him. Have you got the right screen?
Yep, right screen. Maybe I'll message him in her.
No, what a great! I'll have to repeat it for him. Oh, it definitely looks like his feed, right? What happened? I've got a blackout here, so I'm running on battery power and everything.
Same blackout.
Where is he? We will. What an anticlimax! Benji, what are you doing? All right, so we're also expecting Harrison Tate to join us today because Harrison is also in awe of Nick. Nick has done amazing things not only with his business but in his personal life. His total commitment to being a maximized person is incredible. Incredible amount of discipline, and so that's why we're going to chat with him. But this next minute might be a little bit less interesting than normal. But I personally follow Nick. Yeah, we chat from time to time, and say something, and then I put Harrison onto him to say follow this guy because Harrison's learning to play. Or well, not now. He's the president of the rugby union club in Ningbo, so he's had to beef himself up. So
Yeah.
he's been on.
I've never
He's
chatted with
been on
Nick,
all
but
the
I do
deep.
follow him and Mhm.
Yeah, super guy. He said that he had a bandwidth problem, right, somewhere.
Mhm. Yep. Said he was getting connected hardwired.
But we were live before. That's weird.
Yep.
We go live. He's good. Sound checks. Bandwidth is good. And yeah, so if I'm a bit choppy today, it's because I'm on battery. We had a big rain downpour last night, and I don't know if that means that a car hit a telegraph pole and took the internet out, or whether the water got in the cables and took it out. But the internet. Oh, hang on. The power is on. Oh, that's good. Look at that. The light
As
is
you
on.
talk about it. What a coincidence.
I shall. Woohoo! Means I can turn the air conditioner on to stop sweating. That is good. Hang on, I'm going to shut my door.
We call
My
that
life
sweaty
is
pits.
good. There's no doubt about that. And I can. Oh yeah, my phone can go onto power. That's good. And I
You
can
brought
jump
your charger?
to. Let me. Yeah. I got
And
my
for the
charger.
people
I
that
left
have
it in the
watched our podcast, they don't know where you're at, Perry. He's actually in his new
I'm in,
studio.
Yeah, this is my new studio in Phuket,
So
Thailand.
he's going to be building that out. So it's kind of sort of Six Sigma roundtable type of style. And then I'm actually going to be building out a studio in our other shop outside. So it's going to be more Service Six Sigma friendly. So, and I got a new headset coming.
I'm just going to, while you're looking for Nick, I'm just going to jump across to Wi-Fi, okay? Off my phone. Oh, could not be joined. No, I do not want updates. Try tonight.
Yeah, he must be having some serious issues.
Oh boy,
he's really been. He hasn't seen it.
Oh boy, he has been taken out. He has been taken out.
Well, the people that don't know Nick, he actually owns a pressure washing company. From what it looks like, he has a serious rig.
Yeah, he's got the big rig.
You can tell from his shirts that it's wet and wild. He gets wild with water at high pressure.
Yeah, that's the name of his business. Yeah, it's fantastic branding. His colors are amazing.
Oh, it's fantastic. Very unique. All right, here
maybe
he
is back.
God.
What happened then?
Dude, I don't know what the hell you were talking, and then it just fucking crashed.
All right, let me do it again. The man on a mission.
Fucking crashed my computer again, man. God, I was like running around the house.
Oh, really? The whole computer went down. Oh shit! All right,
dude,
I'm gonna do it again.
The system went down.
Oh no! Oh no! All right, let's see if we're lucky now. All right.
Yeah, let's.
You ready? All right, here he is.
How's it going?
The man on a mission. The man with the muscles. The maximized man, Mr. Nic Staton. Woo!
How's it going?
He's got a delay.
Guys?
Yeah, great.
There's definitely a delay.
Oh boy. Well, this will make it fun. Oh, and he disappears.
What a show.
Oh dear. Well, we got to get Harrison in. Let's see if we get Harrison in.
Get Harrison in.
Yes. Sorry, guys. We're going to chop this one up. That's for sure.
Yep. And for the people that are wondering what happened to my voice, I got sick when my brother came in town this last weekend, so their littles passed the sickness on to me. Thanks on them. So if I sound like a little kid, like a 15-year-old.
Oh, he's gone again. The computer has died.
This
is technology at its best.
Hey, we are
having immediately launched on. That's cool.
Issues.
That's cool. How's it going, guys? So, great.
Beautiful.
Well, Nick,
how are you, Harrison?
Nick, I got into my I got into my intro, and then Nick crashed.
Oh no! I saw that he's
Twice.
feeding a bunch of goats and some other
Yeah,
stuff. Is that right? Yeah.
that's what he said. But he was ready. He was ready. He was on early. Hey, you
liking
guys
the
talk. I'm
the
just going to
eagle
see if I
behind
can
you,
find
Peter.
my Wi-Fi. Yeah, it looks good, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's fantastic.
Nice. What are we going to
Good,
talk
Ben.
about
All
while
right.
we wait for
So-
Nick? We don't have a
so I've
system and
got-
procedure for this to happen.
That's true.
Take it away,
Ben,
Harry.
have you ever read King Warrior Magician Lover?
Am I what?
Have you ever read King
You said it so
Warrior
quickly.
Magician Lover? It's a book on
haven't.
psychology. So, like,
Really?
I referred it.
Yeah,
I
so-
mentioned it on the show last night, Harry.
Barry, I'm talking.
Oh, okay.
Get off. Jeez, you're either on or you're off, mate. All right. So,
All right, you're
I'm
on.
kidding. I'm
Mute
totally
me.
kidding. No, I'm kidding. No, so because Perry's been into like psychology since, forever, putting his mind together, making himself into the man that he became. This is one of the books that he recommended to me when I was becoming a man. And so one of the things that they talk about is killing the boy psychology in order to become a man.
Mm.
So I don't know if have you ever experienced something like that where you've gone into something with like an older like an older way of thinking, maybe a younger version of thinking, and then it's been so tough that you've had to develop in that moment and become a man in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
So from that, you've got king energy, warrior energy, magician energy, and lover energy. And those are the 4 archetypes of male psychology.
Mm.
Does any of this type of stuff interest you, Ben? Because I can't tell.
Somewhat.
Somewhat, yeah. No,
Ben's,
see, I don't think you're a psychology
No
guy.
engagement. No, I don't think so either.
I don't think you're a psychology
No.
guy. What do you
No.
spend? What do you do in your
Classic.
free time? Except
What
for
do I do
Service
in my
Six
free
Sigma.
time? Service Six Sigma. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I do a lot with Epic, a lot with Service Six Sigma. The time that I have, I go ride, go on walks. The time that I am actually away from the house, I will actually go up to our vacation rental up in Donley. It's a
Oh,
forest.
Oh, cool. Do you do fly
Yeah.
fishing?
I do fly fishing. Yeah, we do dirt bike riding and snowmobiles, and I was telling Perry that we will ride our snowmobiles and our snow bikes right across the lake when it's frozen. But
Oh shit.
I know it's a little
Really?
sketchy sometimes.
Have you seen any like proper accidents from that?
Oh, this was 2 years ago that my brother's snowmobile was his back half of the snowmobile was going in the water as he was driving because it was too slushy. It's like, oh shit. But-
Oh, shit, all right.
crap. Is any of that on
And
camera?
his wife bails onto the ice because her weight is nothing compared to the snowmobile.
Oh wow.
Do you guys have Insta360 cameras?
I have a couple GoPros.
Yeah, if you get the Insta360, it's got a waterproof case which we use for diving, but you can mount it on a pole on the back of one of the bikes or whatever, and then it's always recording 360, right?
I think GoPro has a 360 camera, if I'm not mistaken.
They should by now.
Definitely get a 360 camera. It's just that
because
when something happens, you're able, that you've caught it. It may not be the
Yeah.
best angle. It may not be the best way to capture that, but you have caught. Like if someone stacks it behind you, you've got that.
Yeah, you got it on film.
I should try that with recording on while I do water fed, like have a 360 camera on the pole.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
That would really work. Sweet. I saw that we are almost ready, right? Nick's had to reboot his system.
3 times.
Jesus. Well, how is everybody
And I'm
doing
back.
this fine evening dash morning?
Yeah. So
You're very silent for someone who normally talks through the whole thing. You're you've gone.
it's like,
This is the thing that annoys me is you go, all right, guys, you guys talk, and like we're good to talk. Me and Ben can talk, right? But it was like you set it up, you lead it up, you're leading into like, okay, so we're gonna do this, and you guys talk.
yeah. Well, that's because I'm on battery because we had a blackout here this morning. So I was switching everything over to power so I don't run out of battery today because I've got my visa run today. So I'm going to Malaysia, to Kuala Lumpur.
Oh yeah, true.
So
And Ollie's cast comes off tomorrow, right? The young
Ollie's
man,
cast comes off tomorrow. We hope.
That's fantastic.
he's back.
That's going to be very exciting for him, but he'll still be weak, right? Because it's 8 weeks without using the ankle. So the ankle
He won't
will
show
be
it.
tight and weak.
He won't show it. He'll be jumping
trying-
into that
He'll be
pool.
trying to run
He'll be-
around. Yeah. Yeah, and tomorrow I move into the new house.
Sipping a
Yeah,
margarita.
tomorrow
Fantastic.
afternoon that's my plan.
So you
And then
you fly back in tonight, and the next morning your son is able to run around again. And you're
no,
in a new
next morning we've got gym prom for Service Six Sigma.
okay, nice.
Right, that's tomorrow.
Like
Tomorrow
gym.
night. Tomorrow night, Ben's time, American time, and then we go and get the cast off. Hopefully, they haven't sent me the appointment time yet, and then I do the final move out of the house and change the locks. And
So
away
how
we
do
go.
you? If I segue into something, how do you crunch time? You know how you always talk about like collapsing time
Yeah,
together in
Yeah.
order to like get something done more efficiently.
if you want to get more into time, then you stretch time. You don't compress time, right? You stretch time. So if you, like, for example, if you drew a little, let me just draw this here.
Oh, I love when he draws. I love his diagrams.
That's really shit.
Let's see it.
Right? Yeah. So if that was time, and each one of these was 15 minutes or something, right? So that would be 4 of them to an hour. So this is an hour and 45 minutes, right? But if you treat it like this, if you treat time like this, so you don't do it on paper, you do it in your mind, right? But you stretch time, right, that way, and then all of a sudden you feel like you can fit more into time, and you do, as long as you're determined. That's where guys like Nic Staton are amazing, because he absolutely gets everything done, But that's how you when you've got not much time, and you go, oh shit, I've got too much to do and I don't have enough time to do it. Probably you do have enough time to do it. You just got to stretch the time so it doesn't put so much pressure on you, and then you just do in it. No distractions.
So are you saying, are you
can't-
like relieving the pressure on like, it's not
No,
that you
I'm
don't
fitting
have
more
time,
in,
you have
because
to
your brain will argue with you that you don't have the time to do stuff, but you do, and so my way is to say I can and I will. And the interesting thing, which again you can hear me say often, is you can't control how long something takes, but you can control the amount of time between what you do. And so what is often what is often the problem where people can't fit things into time is what they do between what they're doing, like looking at messages, So the most efficient people won't look at messages all the time. They'll only look at messages at certain times, because that stop, start, in, out, that's all cramming your time, that you're thinking, I need to do this and I need to get it done. And then all of a sudden you're in and out of it, and therefore you can't get it done because there's not enough time, because you can't use the time, whoever it is, me too, if I don't do this. But this is what I do when I go, oh shit, I don't have enough time. I need to stretch it so I can push more into it, and then do and get it done. And then something goes wrong, and it's all an imagination, right? Because even you hear me talk about imagining the future. I mean, you're imagining the next 5 minutes. Nic and Ben and me were imagining the next 1 minute. I'm going, the man on a mission, the man with the muscles, the maximized man, Mr. Nic Staton, and he's disappeared. His computer's crashed.
I
His
wondered
whole
what that
computer's
note.
crashed.
I saw the note
And have
on
you
your
checked? Have
the
you checked
A4.
whether he can? Have you checked whether he can come in? Oh, did you? Yeah. Can you check
Yeah.
if he can come in on his phone? Did you
Yeah.
try that bit? Because he can download the app and come in on the phone. I think his computer's actually shut itself. Yeah. So
Computer can't keep up
Harry,
with
that's
Nick.
the who's coming up.
That makes sense. So what you're really saying there is you're running. You're right. Oh, there he is.
Maybe.
Drum roll.
Won't even let me add him.
Oh no.
Oh no! Our first. Oh, there you are.
Why did it not let me add him?
I don't even know if it's gonna work.
That's weird.
There we are.
Did he crash my whole entire thing? This StreamYard thing or whatever is crashing my computer to where I can't even
Oh,
get onto
no.
the whole system. I don't know.
Wow.
What are you running,
it's only
XP? Oh no. I said XP and he's gone.
That is crazy. And he's rebooted and everything.
Yeah.
But it's only a streaming
Essentially,
software, so it's not you're not actually adding software to your computer, are you, with StreamYard?
No.
No, it'd
Just
be
using-
his.
Maybe he's run out of
CPU is
maybe he's run
crashed.
out of cache.
Oh, RAM. Yeah, it's
or
his
RAM. No, but he restarted his computer, so that should have solved the RAM problem, but the cache.
But then
if he's
his,
run out of
then his GPU or CPU is not high enough to handle a stream. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he was streaming with somebody else yesterday. I saw somebody comment on his Facebook. Yeah, so he has streamed before.
I love it.
Well, at least we're going to use the banner again because we will repeat it.
Poor
We will
everyone
do
waiting for this to start.
I
This
know,
is
I know, I know.
20 minutes in. I love it.
Yeah.
I love you too, Sean Parsons, by the way.
Yeah.
Bunch of amateurs.
So
I won't take
Harrison,
that a lot.
Harrison, tell me about your fat to fit journey.
That's
What?
what the fuck?
I'm so
No, I'm kidding.
confused.
I'm kidding. No, it just caught me off guard. So beginning of last year, I ended up having a really good friend. He's now my best friend in where I live, Ningbo. But I met him in a bar with a bunch of my mates around us, and we're all like just drinking a couple of beers. And we got to chatting, and he's just pulled me aside, and he's like, "Yeah, come join the rugby squad with us because we're all trying to recruit for this rugby like game."
Mm-hmm.
And when I started playing, he started slowly mentioning like, "Hey, mate, you need to go hit the gym. You're a little bit pudgy. You're a little bit soft, right? Like, you should be hard, right? You should actually be strong. You're not strong. You're tall, but you're not strong, right?" And so he kept like but very encouraging, just slow messages, slowly. And the difference over since then to now, I hit the gym maybe 5 to 6 days a week now, including like the rugby sessions, which is 2 times a week. I've probably lost 6 kg of fat and gained 8 kg of muscle. So I don't know how much that is in pounds.
Yeah, you've lost about 14 pounds and gained 14, 15, 16, 17, something like that. 17, 18
There
pounds.
you go.
Oh, there we are.
He's on his way.
Boom. Fucking
You're on
figured
your
it
phone.
out.
Let's go.
Hold on. I want to fix something. Can't do nothing with.
That sounds perfect.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hold on a second. I'm just going to change that to the background. If that works. That works.
You look like the cartoon character with a little helicopter hat.
Trying to change the fucking background, but it won't let me.
Oh, you don't need to change the back. Looks good.
Yeah, nah.
At least the ceiling fan's not operating right now.
Yeah. It looks like you're really brainy and you need a cooling fan for your head. Yeah.
This is a lot better because you crashed my whole system.
I blame Ben.
I
For what I
blame
said
the
no.
StreamYard thing
Really
more
my fault.
and I also blame having 2 to 3 other people on there. It'll do fine. Too. I had horrible
Yeah,
internet.
see, Perry, if you weren't on, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm hearing, Nick.
You broke my shit, man.
The unbreakable Nic Staton. We broke his computer.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So, Nick, we were just talking. Harrison's gotten himself all muscly, and when he started,
Not
his
as
little
muscly as you,
journey
Nick.
No, not yet.
Not yet. No, actually, so Perry kept sending me images, so like screenshots of your Facebook feed.
Yeah.
And he's like, look at my mate, Nic Staton. Look at him. Look how dedicated he is. And so I actually, I ended up following you off the back of that, which is hilarious. But yeah, no, I've spent over the past year going from someone who's soft to being someone who's hard, which I'm not hard yet, but like it's taken so much effort to take this, like the weakness or the not wanting to be aggressive, the not wanting to compete, just like coasting through life, which then made me more pudgy, more fat, more very likable, but like a very likable guy, but not like the guy that goes out and gets shit done, doesn't push things through.
Right.
So it transferred across like a lot through my life once I actually started hitting the gym. And like I go 5-6 days a week now, and I've lost 6 kg of fat, gained probably 8 kg of muscle.
What the hell?
I'm now squatting 100 and
kg.
What's
It's
kg
about
is?
14 and 18. 14. He's lost 14 pounds and put on 18 pounds.
Oh, okay.
So he's heavier, bigger.
Put on 18 pounds.
Yeah, but it's all
like,
muscle because he didn't have that much muscle, right?
Hold on.
I had like
I must have understood that wrong. He put on.
No, he lost 6 pounds of fat. He lost.
This is in 2 different
14 pounds
stages.
of fat. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when I cut,
got the fat put on
when
the
I
belt.
cut, and then I put the muscle back on.
Now I understand.
Yeah. So
where are you
it's
from? Australia or something?
Yeah, I'm Australian. Perry's a Kiwi, New Zealander.
New Zealander. And
Yeah,
Ben,
we talk
where
funny,
you from?
don't we?
See,
Ben, where are you from?
Where you from, Ben?
Ben, where are you from?
I'm from Boise, Idaho.
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 Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Oh, that's fun. All right.
Hey, so how did were you like when because your physical journey of becoming incredibly fit? Were you always that way? Were you like from a kid? Were you always a nuggety kid, or was it a transformation?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was a hellion as a kid, man. I was all over the damn place. My mom and dad couldn't keep me tamed. I was all over everywhere. I was very fit as a young kid. I played soccer, played football. Played that from 8 years old all the way up till I was probably 14 or 15, something like that.
Yeah.
Then I fell off, but I really didn't fall off until I would say after I got out of jail. That's when I started kind of falling off because I was really depressed.
I can imagine.
I got up to like 210 pounds.
Oh my God! So you actually got really big.
Yeah. And then
What was that, 95 kg, something like that?
Yeah.
Went down to 156 pounds and started regaining it all back. and that was around my surgery time. That was like 2018. I think it
Okay.
was. And then I started going to a trainer. And when I went to that trainer, I couldn't even lift the barbell by itself.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. Just for the
That's
fact
like
that
me.
after my surgery, because of the type of surgery that I had,
Right.
you didn't want to push the issue of having it reoccur, of straining and stuff like that. So we pretty much just went in there and started off at ground zero. And
Wow.
here we are, 2024, and I still go to him. I go to him every weekend. I don't go to him during the week. I just see him on the weekends, 2 days, and pick up the training from him, and then take that training and go do that myself.
What was your injury, Nick?
Hydroseal.
What's that?
It's kind of rare and kind of not.
It's a water bag.
Without going into too far of detail, it's something to do with your lower area.
Oh, I know. I think I had that too, actually. Yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe I did have that. Yeah, but basically, there's a little valve.
Yeah,
There's a little valve that's meant to open and
like,
close.
Yeah, fluid goes through the tube, and then fluid comes out of another tube. But the tube that had it going down had a cyst or something like that would pop up.
Yeah, there was like a little tapping system.
Yeah,
you know, like that.
Yeah,
and then one of them blocks, or the valve fails.
Yeah.
And then the scrotum fills up with fluid. Yeah. Pretty much.
And it's never
like
really
that.
the same after, but it's definitely a lot better after.
Yeah. No, that's what I had. I had that operation too. Now that I thought I've heard that word before. You had it too?
I've also had a scrotum operation. I had like a twisted.
There we go.
Ben, have you?
Ben's like, all right.
Odd one out. I don't know. You feel left out, mate.
I'm fine. Hey, okay.
Ben's like, well, I haven't.
You guys got some issues going on.
Hey, this is life. This is life. Life delivers you little bumps in the road, and you gotta ride over them. You know, because they got it.
Man.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's what took the journey off, and there for a while, I really wasn't taking it even serious then, because I was still just kind of going to the trainer and then not even really going myself. I'd say probably 2021, I started taking it really serious and actually going to the gym. Too much, actually. I was going to the gym every single day and lifting and stuff like that. And I wasn't really putting on size, but I was definitely getting cut. Now I go to the gym 4 or 5 days and actually lift. And then there's a couple days if I do want to go, or if I just want to take a break. If I do go, I'm just going to get on the treadmill or something like that and just get some cardio in, and maybe do some sit-ups and stuff like that. But I've really got that dialed in, and then got on TRT, which is testosterone.
I'm on that now.
Yeah.
I've just finished a cycle.
Harrison put me onto it. Yeah.
Yeah, I got on that, and that
now
really
I'm a real man again.
That really changed the game. I got so zoned in that, I mean, now it's just kind of just a routine, building a system.
How much? What dose were you on? Because I'm on a pretty light dose, because I'm just doing it just to be strong, you know. But I'm on like, what am I on?
I was going to a place, and my stuff was actually getting a little messed up. So I reached out to somebody else that's actually more dialed in and actually gets more dialed into your actually your body.
Yep.
And they're starting me off pretty much at the bottom at just 100 milligrams.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm on.
So
What am I on,
Jerry,
Harry?
you're on 120. You're on 125 milligrams a week. I actually had to do it because one of my buddies, he's been on it. He got jacked, and so I went to a hormone specialist to say, hey, like test my bloods. Let's see if it would be good for me. If it's like I wanted a doctor to say no, actually.
Yeah.
But because he kept convincing me, and I was like so into it, and I'm like, but I need a doctor to tell me don't do it because like it could cause problems. And so when he tested my testosterone, mine was actually too low for my age,
Right.
which actually made a lot more sense
that's
now.
what's happened to most people is most people have low testosterone. That's the reason why we have what we have going around is people are running around with low testosterone, high estrogen, and stuff like that, and they wonder why they can't think straight.
But here's the thing:
it'll fog your brain up real quick.
Yeah,
so bad.
What he said to me, like I'm not. You wouldn't say I'm not obese at all. I'm slightly overweight with a little bit of a belly. And he said to me, lose 10% of your body weight. And I said, why? And he said, because your testosterone gets converted to estrogen if you're fat.
Yeah.
So if you're a fat male, you're going to be more feminine, less horny, less hunting, less. And testosterone is the I can do this drug.
Yeah, testosterone makes effort easy.
Yeah.
Right. That's the key. So you just go like that's why we can do things. Like
thing is most people don't even have that extra oomph or that extra drive. I mean, I kind of still had it, but at the same time, I'm a very high driven person, and I even before that I wouldn't stop, but I find myself just passing out during the day, and that was the thing that I didn't want is I didn't want to pass out during the day and stuff like that. I want to continue going. So now I'm actually got my sleep routine more dialed in, and because I can go to bed at 9 o'clock at night and then turn around and wake up at 4 a.m., that's perfect amount of sleep for me. It's very, very, very rare that I do take a nap in the afternoon, and it would have to just be because it's raining outside or something like that. And something about the rain makes me tired, period. So like if it's raining and I'm not busy and I just kick back on the couch, I'm passing out.
Yeah, but good use of time, right? Because it's still like for everything that you're doing, it's still a recharge, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely a recharge because like I tell everybody a lot of times in my posts is, my body is like a battery. I wake up every single day and I'm fully charged. But by the end of the day, my battery is getting down and down and down and down. And a lot of times I would continue trying to fight that just to turn around and please other people and make sure that, other people are taken care of. And at the end of the day, I have to worry about myself. So I've got myself so dialed in that like my phone at 8 p.m., it gives me a reminder and it says, Nick, start winding down. And then somewhere throughout that hour, it automatically cuts off every single app, text message, phone thing. So like if I open up my phone, there's nothing on my emails, nothing like that. So basically my mind knows that I can just relax and go to bed. But if I wake up and I see emails, text messages, anything like that, then I'm opening them.
Yeah, I do that.
And then next thing you know, I'm awake for fucking 2, 3, 4 hours. And I'm like, shit.
Yeah. That's really interesting. You hear this distraction thing, Harry? That managing of distractions is really, really huge as far as achieving everything, being incredibly busy.
I find that very, very difficult. Actually.
But you've grown up. You've grown up in the age of distraction, and what we can do is say, we knew we were before mobile phones, we didn't have that level of distraction, so, but you've grown up as a kid from distraction. Ollie's worse. He's like completely worse,
Like I don't find I'm not on social media during the day at work when I'm at my desk working. But if I go like to the toilet, like I go pee or whatever, somehow my phone is in my hand and I'm scrolling while I'm peeing, and then I catch myself now, and I'm trying to reduce that habit to go. This is not the trigger to Instagram. Yeah, like can do two things at once, Nick. I've got it. My aim is impeccable. I can do it while scrolling.
You can multitask. You've got too much estrogen.
There's too much going on. Oh man,
Yeah, so
our
like
lives are crazy.
But like also like we run a lot of the company off an app called WeChat because it automatically translates. It's the app in China that everyone uses. Also, all my social groups are run on WeChat.
Yeah.
And other groups are run on WeChat. So I get notifications constantly throughout the day. I might receive 300 plus messages throughout the day on WeChat constantly. It's always open on my computer. And I'll be working and then a message will come in and I got to check it. Oh, no, it's not work. It's someone else. Oh, quickly, I'll just reply to that. Done. Okay, back in.
And that's the mistake.
And
that's the mistake. Yeah. So Nick,
Yeah,
I want to pull in on this. I want to pull in on this battery thing because I've been studying batteries, and when you charge a battery, like everybody says, I've got a 12-volt battery, but did you know that when a battery is at 12 volts, it's flat? You know, a battery, when you fully charge a battery, it's running at about 14 volts for a very short amount of time. It's fully charged, and then it drops back to what's normal for it. And this is a little bit like waking up, all excited and ready to go, So
Right.
then I think like a fully charged battery is running at about 12.8, 12.6, volts, and then it'll go down. And why I thought it was a really good link to what you're saying is that when you wake up and you've got all the power in the day, then somebody's got a crackling noise.
Oh, sorry.
No, is it you fiddling?
Sorry.
Yeah. It's all right.
ADD.
So that's all right, bro. We've all got it. So the thing is, when we get up at the beginning of the day, we've got all the power to go through the day. When we get to the end of the day or the end of our battery power, we're still 12 volts. We're not 0 volts. We're still alive. We're still functioning. We can still draw on ourselves and deliver more than what we've got because there's still power there. You can still get electricity out of a 12-volt battery, but it's flat.
Done, and that you have more that has to be done. But at the same time, a lot of that is things that you don't have control over. So why turn around and keep yourself up thinking about things that you don't have control over or that could wait until tomorrow?
Yeah.
So it's like that.
Yeah.
Once again, it's like if somebody really wants me, they can call my phone a couple times and it'll go through. But for the most part, my sleep is more important. If I'm not getting the proper sleep, then I'm not being able to function properly in my business and in my personal life.
Yeah.
And before, I would just sleep, whenever, periodically, however I wanted. Now I've got that more dialed in. I find myself a lot more tuned into, being a better person.
So do you get so is this like a management of the character, from a happy, enthusiastic, positive, encouraging character exists with a full battery and a less than that is a flat battery kind of thing?
Well, another thing that I'll also do is I'll also say that I'm out in a big crowd or something like that. I'll kind of disappear for a little bit and then come back because I'd like to recharge myself because I get so like at events and stuff like that. You'll be at like a 2-day, 3-day event or something.
Yeah.
And you gotta disappear and come back. You can't just sit there.
Yeah, I do that. That's what I was saying to Ben. When we do the huge convention, we always try and book the hotel in the hotel, even though it's crazy expensive. But you can go back to your room and take 20 minutes, close your eyes. Sometimes, by the way, I'll tell you another tip. Harrison found it somewhere, but you just say, close your eyes and just go, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired. And that is like a 4% kick. It's incredible. Tired, angry, jealous, nervous, anxious, any emotion, if you can track it and just be still for a second and admit it. Once you've admitted it, you don't fight it, as much, and therefore
Right.
can you relate to that?
Yeah, because what you're doing is you're allowing it to exist rather than pretending like it doesn't exist. Is the theory. So if you are angry, instead of trying to pretend I shouldn't be angry, I should be this other thing, but you are angry. So there's a lot of energy and effort that you're fighting whatever's inside of you, whether it's anger, sleep, boredom, any emotion, or lust might be even one. Like fuck, like I'm over the top on this, and then you just give it a name, and then all of a sudden, after repeating it like 5 times, your brain clears and goes, okay, you've heard me, like you understand that this is happening, and then you can just move on. It's insane.
Yeah, a lot of what we have to say happens. A lot of people talk negative thoughts out of their mouth. So that's the reason they have a lot of bad things happen, is because they're always constantly saying bad things out of their mouth. That's why you always hear me say that I won't stop, can't stop, I can, I will. Because
I do watch you say that.
Yeah, I know it's going to happen. So
Yeah.
why doubt it? It may not happen today. It may not happen tomorrow. It may not happen tonight. But it's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me ask you this one, because this is...
You almost don't put a time frame on it. Sorry.
Oh, we must have a delay. Sorry, Nick. It's 2 of us talking at the same time. When I'm interested, one of the questions I've really wanted to know from you is, when you got your physical life together, how did that translate across your business? What was the effect of getting all of that together? And did it change your business, or was the business just didn't change, or what?
Here's the thing about running a business that took me a little while to learn is you're not selling a product, you're selling yourself. So if you're not looking your best and at your best, then how are you ever going to expect to have customers trust you, believe you, and want to do fucking business with you? It just makes no sense to me that all these people run around, get drunk, sloppy, take shitty care of themselves, smoke cigarettes, do all this stuff, dip, look like crap, and go and show up to jobs and wonder why they ain't landing half the damn things, or wonder why they only get the bottom edge of the jobs, is because you got to look at yourself and look how you're presenting yourself. It's your company. At the end of the day, it's your company that you are representing. And if you can't represent your company at the highest, then why be in business for yourself? It just makes no sense to me.
No, I think you're completely right. Completely right. But so when did you start Wet and Wild? What year?
I started Wet and Wild in 2016.
And then 2018 was the operation.
I started it in 2016, and I ran it until 2018 or 2000. And I continued running it a little bit while I had the bucket trucks, but I mainly ran bucket trucks from 2018 to end of 2019, 2020 area.
What's a bucket truck?
They're cable trucks, like telephone wires and stuff like that on your.
Right.
Yeah, they were putting up stuff like that.
Oh, so you were contracting to get the cable to the site, and were you
I
pulling it and all?
I had a truck, and then a guy that we were getting jobs from had a contract, and we were out there on his contract, but he had like 20 or 30 trucks or something like that running around, and some of them were owned by people like myself, and then they had their guys out there in the trucks, and we made a percentage off of it.
Right.
And I owned everything, and I made 30% off of the truck. I gave my guys 70% off of it. I kept 30% off of every check. And I ran it that way, but I didn't know nothing about the business, and that's the reason that business tanked. Is because when it came down to it or whatever, and I had the trucks left, but I didn't have nobody, there was no way for me to be able to go and do anything. So then I just turned around and I sold them. And I kind of wish I would have kept one of them because it would have helped during the pressure washing adventure now. But at the same time, it is what it is. Sold those trucks, got into pressure washing in 2020, or back into pressure washing, because that's when I revamped it and actually made the logo the way that it is. And before it was just blue letters, Wet and Wild, with a with a wand.
And did you come up with that, or did you just have a mentor that said you need to rebrand this? And like, how did that happen?
That came out of my own head or whatever. I was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this the right damn way. So I went and bought a trailer, because before I didn't even have a trailer. I just had a little 4-gallon per minute that had the little wheels that you just pulled around. And I had a big guy, and all I would do is just clean your concrete. I wouldn't clean your house. I wouldn't do none of that. I never, ever washed a house until 2020.
Wow. Wow. See, it's quite a journey. How many trucks?
I never experienced chemicals until 2020.
Wow. And how many trucks do you run? Do you run one or more?
We have 2.
Yeah. And is the second one running full time, or are you running the second one as redundancy?
Say that again?
Does the second one run full time, or do you run it as a redundancy, like it's picking up the the spikes in the?
It's picking up the spikes, because pretty much one runs right now. I don't have 2 guys to be able out actually just running around, and plus we're mostly commercial, so we're not busy all the time.
Right. Yeah, you can schedule as you wish, pretty much.
Yes and no. It was kind of as you wish before, but now we're on contracts with these people, and now we cover 4 states because we cover a 5-hour radius, but we're under contract with a few companies, and we basically do all their washing anywhere that they're at, and that's pretty much where most of our revenue comes in. And then I have some residential that I've built up, but I don't focus on residential, because at the end of the day, my trucks don't make as much money doing residential. I would have to have 4 or 5 houses on a regular basis for my trucks to end up making money, if not more, in a day. So it's better for my trucks to be out in commercial sites, because the amount of money that you make on those, that actually pays for it.
Yeah, look at that. That's a rig. Whew.
And then since we got that the beast, that's just made everything tremendously more profitable, and at the same time time efficient. We're not taking up nearly as much time.
I can imagine. And then, are you doing parking garages as well, or is the beast like mostly open?
I'm not
open parking.
focused 100% on parking garages right this sec. It is great for parking garages. Don't get me wrong.
I can imagine.
Do some parking garages, but I learned something very critical, and that is never build a truck that you want to go into a parking garage over 6'6"?
Yes.
Because
Yep.
they're 6'8" on a low end and 7'1" on a high end, mostly 6'8".
And if you go up a
2 inches of clearance, if you had a 6'6". So I'm about to redo one of my trucks and make it 6'6", so that we can end up getting inside of parking garages. And once we do that, then that's just going to open up a whole new ball game, because I've actually turned down 4 parking garages. 2 of them equaled over 1 million square feet.
wow.
Just for the fact that I couldn't get it done in the time frame that they would have. If I would have sent the truck off to go get everything done that needed to be done, I mean, I wouldn't have been.
Yeah, it just did. Yeah, like it is. But anyway, I mean, the fact that you had the chance means the chance will come again, right?
Oh, they'll definitely come again. They always do. Like I said, you plant seeds and keep watering them, and they'll come back. You know.
Yeah. Yep.
They always blossom
Yep.
sometime or another. And then once those people see us actually doing parking garages and stuff, they'll probably end up reaching back out and saying, "Hey, we've got this, we've got that for you."
When you do your marketing, are you allowed to use your major client as your reference? Like, you know, we cover 4 states, 5 hours, you know, for such and such a company, you know, and we believe that you've got significant properties in the area we service already, and we'd be interested that we'd like to quote your business. You know, are you allowed to do that? Can you do that? Do you do that?
Like to other people?
Yeah, to other commercials, you know, like, because you'd know the chains that are basically centered in your area, you know, so you've got that 5-hour radius already as your service area.
Yeah, I'm telling
you know,
I'm telling more people that we're actually doing a 5-hour radius now. So the words got out more, so that we can actually cover more.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think that's what you offer, which other people like. Is definitely a unique
that's
point, because most guys are super local. Yeah.
Oh, dude, everybody that I talk to on the phone, man, they don't like going past like a 20-mile, 30-mile radius, and they wonder why they don't have business. They'll hit me up and they're like, "Hey, Nick, will you go do this job?" And I'm like, "Where's it at?" And then they tell me, and it's an hour and a half from me. But they don't want to go do it because it's an hour and a half, 2 hours from them.
Yeah.
And it makes no fucking sense to me. I'm like, well, fucking pass me that job. I'll go take the money. Shit.
Absolutely. And then what happens, because that's 90% of the guys, they all cluster around the city center and fight over the city center jobs. And then the price chopping each other.
They fight over the bottom scrap end of the jobs. And residential's cool. Don't get me wrong. That, you know, some people thrive really well at it. But at the end of the day, that is not my ideal customer, is a residential house. I'll clean a residential house. I love making homeowners happy. I love adding value to every property that I touch. But at the same time, a homeowner is not my ideal customer.
Because and the other thing is, I mean, you've got the big boys' toys for pressure washing, haven't you? You know, so you might as well be using them for efficiency on big sites, isn't it?
Yes. Our motive is we are the fastest, we are the most efficient, and we are the best. I never ever said that we are the cheapest, though.
No, I like that. Well, you know, there's a triangle which we used to have in our sales training was you know, quality, service, and price. And you say to the customer, look, here are the 3 points of our negotiation. You can have 2, but you can't have the third. You know, if you want quality and service, you can't have price. You know, if you want quality and price, you can't have service. If you want service and price, you can't have quality, because it's all going to be labor. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, I go in and find out and talk to them, you know, and listen to them. and I can pretty much read somebody now as I'm talking to them about, you know, kind of where their budget is, even without them even saying it. I just
Yeah.
have certain things that I say to people and just cut up with them. And once I find out that, then I turn around and think if that's something that we can even do business with. And then I also, my ideal customer, I'm not even going to go into detail of exactly what it is,
No,
but
no,
I've
no. Yeah.
zoned in on that. And I'm doing very well at that. And I'm just going to keep on adding to the puzzle pieces with those. Because at the end of the day, that's going to keep on giving us continuous business, where that's something that, you know, in an industry like ours, you know, most people, they don't have jobs. It's because they don't go after things that will continuously give them business and continuously
Right, right, right.
You know, they might go clean a house or whatever, and then that house doesn't need to be cleaned for 2 or 3 years. And
Yeah.
then we got a certain amount of clientele, where the clientele that I like to go after, they're constantly needing something cleaned, whether it's, you know, hydraulic fluid, red clay, whatever it may be. And red clay is our niche. I've made
Ah.
a footprint with getting red clay up, and because of that, that's just spoke volume. A lot of companies call me their lethal weapon. Then, you know, I got Magic in on the back of my shirt and stuff like that. So, because I'm always making something out of nothing.
That's amazing. Hey, so what's the future like? If you're imagining the future, like what do you? Because I know you're focused on, and I know the maximum word is you, right? You really push hard, you know. But so
Yeah.
what? Because the other part of life is that in some places we want to be happy with what we've got. We want to have gratitude. We want to settle. You know, we want to, you know, when little kids come along, you want to be a dad and all that. So, you know, but so what? How does it look like? What? Because you've done so much in 4 years, it's like crazy. And I really want to have another conversation with you. We've got a whole hour, you know. But I also respect it's getting close to your bedtime. So, you know, but what? How are you managing what you're considering as the future?
I honestly take it one day at a time. My future, I'm not quite sure if I'll ever have kids or not, just for the fact that, you know, I've been single for 8 years. I don't know if any of that will ever be anything.
How old are you now?
I'm 37. I'll be 38 here in May.
I was sired or whatever I don't know what the scientific term is. Ollie at 49.
Yeah.
That beautiful boy I've got now, right? So you got all the time in the world,
at
bro.
the end of the day, it's like, you know, if it happens, it happens on that aspect.
Yeah, agreed.
But I took it into my initiative to go ahead and just kick myself in gear. I also should have a couple kids that should be here on this earth that aren't. And I took that to heart after the last one. And that really kicked my life into gear. And I feel like those kids are up there pushing me every single day here.
Yeah, good on you, Nick. Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you.
I wouldn't have the things that I do right now if I didn't really focus on myself and get myself out of the place.
I know. I mean, I don't know if Harrison's still in the background, but I always have asked Harrison, just keep focusing, keep finding yourself. You know, that time to find yourself is so critical, because then somebody can find you. Here he is. You know, find your happiness and then invite somebody into the happiness. Not
it's about attracting.
Try and get somebody to.
The law of attraction. You've got to build yourself up. You got to be happy with yourself, because at the end of the day, why are you going to go get in a relationship with somebody if you're not happy? Because then you're looking for that person to do something for you, And then when that person lets you down, then it gets you
Yep.
mad. But if you went into a relationship and you were happy with who you were, then you wouldn't be as mad about things or whatever, and you wouldn't need that person to make you happy.
There
Or
you
you
go.
wouldn't be looking for something to make you happy.
Yeah. So that's my, from as an old guy with 2 families, I would say those 8 years and listening to the last 4 years and the 6 years, like, I really think, and it is, and the right person will come to you as long as you're shopping in the right shop, isn't it? Like if you're going to go, to, Charleston bloody
As
Gentlemen's
they
Club,
always
you're not
say,
going to.
every time I make a post about something, Nick, you're looking in the wrong places. Nick, she'll come out of nowhere and she'll find
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, shop in the right shop. Shop in the right shop.
But other than that, man, I want to build out this farm with these goats. Get it to where we're eating goat meat. My business wise, we're in the middle of possibly merging with another company, but for right now, it's pretty much we're just working together with each other and finding out if it's something that we want to do. But I got a very strong feeling that we're going to end up joining together and making this one thing and really, really rocking out and building something that really was only a dream or an imagine. But as long as you keep on pushing forward, putting effort every single day, not stopping, every hurdle that comes at us, jumping that motherfucker. I mean, just not letting our foot off the gas at all, then it'll work. But it really is not going to work unless I have more people than myself. I've seen how far I can get this by myself. And then I see how far I can get with a little bit of help. But I can only imagine if I have the right people in the right places, which, I'm attracting that right now. And once that's in place, man, we're really going to be a force to reckon with, because I made this name stand out with my marketing, and my marketing is pretty much done a lot by me.
Yep.
And I mean, I just won't stop with that. And my organic marketing is really, really doing very well. I can only imagine if we added, doing ads or anything like that, how much it would really take off.
Yeah. If you look at a partnership, my 2 cents is, because Harrison and I are partners, and of course we're father and son as well. But in my opinion, the safest partnership is 50-50. Right? Nobody has anything on the other person. If we can't, Harrison and I have this agreement. If we can't agree on something, we just don't do it and we let it go. You don't hang on to say that was my idea and we didn't do it. You come up with another idea that you both agree you can do. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
And nobody's got veto over the other one. And the other thought, which I have, is that your distribution of profits is regular and equal, like often, so that your money in the business, when there's profit in the business, you take it out, every 90 days. If the business needs money again, you both put the same amount back in again, and you take the same amount out again. And it's got this life with 2 complete individuals in together.
Right.
No power over it. No, we need to hold the money, but you've got another dream with the money. Our money is our money. If we need to put it back in, we talk about putting it back in, each of us. We're not that it's in there and we can't get it, and therefore we, like that. Because usually there'll be somebody who's good at money and somebody who's good on the tools, and this is my thinking about how to manage that. Because the good at money person can end up working out how to get the money. Not that they intend to; it's just they're good with money.
Yeah, all that's going to be a super big learning curve on actually what to do and how to do all of that. My CPA is in the middle of working up a deal on that end, and then we're going to
Nice.
end up, finding out what we need to do. But he was like, "Man, I'm going to brainstorm on this for a little while because."
Great idea. Brilliant.
Yeah, he was like, I mean, if you really want to grow, Nick, he was like, I mean, the only way to really grow is to have other people.
Yep.
And he was like, you're doing very successful with what you've done so far. He was like, why not add on other people? And if that's something that you want to do, and I've always heard find somebody that's at least 80% of you, and I feel like the person that I found is more than 80% of me. Just not business. He just doesn't really want to do the business side, where I'm really big on the business side. He's more of the working side. But at the same time,
oh, that's cool. That is super cool.
Yeah. So he
that's a much safer. That's a much safer. You know, if you're the Steve Jobs and he's the Steve Wozniak, you're much safer than the other way around.
Yeah,
well,
he runs
Nick,
his own business right now, and then he has his son. His son's 20 years old, I think it is. And both of them will be, coming over and joining us. But, dude, I went out with him the other day to go help him on a project because I've watched with him a little bit at the charity that we do every single year. But other than that, I haven't really got out with him in the field. And the other day was our first day out in the field together, dude. And we were so in sync with each other. We barely even had to tell each other what to do. It was like we were out there in the field. We were talking to each other while we were waiting for water because water was fucking horrible at this place. And I said, well, shit, let's just take this time and just, talk about the future and talk about what we want and things like that. Then as soon as we got down to working, dude, it was like, I said, man, I'm just going to spray the chemicals. You turn around and come down and rinse everything off. He was like, sounds like a deal. And I just turned around and put the chemicals down. And, dude, he came right behind. He waited a little bit, came right behind, and just turned around and started rinsing it all down. Next thing you know, we were done. But, man, if it wasn't both of us out there, it probably would have took him 2 full days because that water was just horrible.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Well, one thing Perry talks about before we get into any partnership, whether that's like with another, like with a distributor, like a wholesaler or anything major, he always talks about setting up the ground rules for how you will break up before you want to break up. Now, you may never want to break up, but while you're in a good mood,
you got to have all of that in place where, if somebody wants an exit or something like that, then they know what they're going to get at that exit, things like that. Yeah. So where it doesn't just get presented later on and then become a fight. All this needs to be in detail at the front end.
And then during the relationship, you can always bring it back to that. So you go, we set up the ground rules in the beginning. These are simple ground rules. These are just for when the shit hits the fan, something's going wrong, and then you go, okay, but we're going to go back to the rules that we set, right? So you always bring it back to what you've already set, what you've already agreed upon. And then if you guys can do that very effectively, then that's an easy, because Perry and I do the same thing, but we have an unwritten rules, but we won't go ahead with something unless we both agreed on it. Right. That's one of the rules. We never hold grudges is another rule. So if he's pissed me off or I've pissed him off, we don't hold on to that. We clear it in the argument. And then as soon as that argument's finished, there is no hatred, there's no feeling. And then we also said the biggest one, he kind of brainwashed me when I was a kid. He said, you're not allowed, just agree with me. You're not allowed to leave, like be angry with me, not stop talking to me. You're like, or whatever. You're not allowed to do that if you're still angry with me. You're allowed to do that after the anger has passed. If you still want to hey, don't talk to dad, whatever, that's cool. But you're never allowed to break up with anger. Right. You can only break up with logic.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why it's
And that's
better a lot of times to just let it sit in your mind and kind of let it, think about it, sleep on it or whatever, instead of just reacting. And a lot of times,
the law of diminishing effect. Like you
reacting right away.
Yeah, use the law of diminishing effect. When time goes by and then you think 3 years from now, am I going to give a rat's ass about this? And if you're not going to give a rat's ass about it in 3 years, why give a rat's ass about it today? You know, okay, you got a bit of adrenaline, you got a bit of cortisol, you know, you got a bit of hormone going on. Okay, all right, I'm hormonal, you know.
Yeah,
my fuse is a little short today. That's okay. That's all right. That doesn't mean
we always tell each other. That's another beautiful piece of communication is when we are shitty or nasty or angry or an asshole, we tell each other, like, I am a dick today. Like, if I'm just reacting weird, or he'll say shit, you know, like I'm just being a dick. You know, but if you realize that, and I couldn't turn it off for 2 weeks, could I, Harry?
I called myself out the other week at work or whatever. I was like, dude, don't mind me. I'm an asshole today. Just fucking leave me alone. If I say the wrong thing to you, it's not because I mean it. It's just because I know I'm an asshole today, and I'll get it.
And it's actually what you're not just helping yourself there. You're really helping the other person, because they now don't perceive it through this like, oh, this is real. Like when Perry goes, oh, I'm just being a dick, or like, I think it was me the most recent time. I'm going, I'm just being a dick today. I'm just so short fused, and I'm just snapping.
I mean, everybody has their days and everything like that. You know, you try to keep it under control, but if you notice that it's starting to come out, just go ahead and let everybody know, hey, I'm being a fucking dick today. I know I am. Sorry.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how much less of a dick I become after I admit it. Too, like I'm just like, oh guys, I'm being a tyrant, you know, like this is what I'm doing. This I know I don't know why, but this is the mood I'm in.
Opening your eyes to realize what you're actually doing.
Yeah.
Instead of you just staying in your head and being quiet and then fucking causing bigger problems because the other people are assuming that you're actually being an asshole.
Yeah. And the other one, like now you realize that testosterone converts to estrogen and estrogen has behavioral problems of its own, you know, then you wonder if some of those days where you can't control what's going on, I mean, maybe you're just being estrogenized or something. I don't know, you know, like, but you know you're there, but you can't get out of it. Then maybe it's just hormonal.
Your blood work comes into play, and you should be going and getting your blood work done every 3 months at least or whatever. So that way you can kind of stay on check with that type of stuff. Because
that's what I think too now.
A lot of mood swings and everything. 9 out of 10, I guarantee that you know your estrogen and your testosterone somewhere along the lines
something's out of whack. Something's imbalanced. Yeah, Barry, I love that you're like, oh, I'm snappy. I'm a woman. Like
I did not say that. I said I've been estrogenized. Hey, Nick, the other thing, which is just a really, really momentary thing to watch for, but the 2 times that Richard has had major problems with other people are, 2 of the 3, because the other one didn't have one of these. When we went to sign an agreement together, the other person said, whatever, you know, it's worthless. It means nothing. Just, you know, whatever. If they disrespect the agreement, that means you have no foundation, no prima facie, no return to this point. They have not agreed in themselves that when the shit hits the fan, we come back to here, and this is where we've agreed, and from here we rebuild to agree again on whatever it needs to agree. But right now, the agreement is what's in writing. And I promise you, I didn't see it the second time, but I'm sure as hell going to see it the third time.
Yeah.
And it's only that moment, as that guy goes to sign that agreement with you, if he's flippant about it, you've got to look closely at what's going on. I don't know.
Well, it's like, you know how we say like our word is our bond, right?
Right.
Our word is our bond, and our signature should also be at a higher level than our word even. So when I sign something, it does mean that I'm agreeing to it. And if anyone anyone takes it lightly, says, "Oh, I can say anything. Anyone can believe me. It doesn't matter." You know that that's how they interact with the world, right?
Right.
And so you know that if they don't take a contract seriously, then that contract doesn't mean anything to them.
Right.
That doesn't mean that doesn't actually make them a bad person. It just means that contract means nothing to them. So whatever's in there means nothing to them because they didn't take it seriously. That's all it means. So they could be an absolutely amazing business partner. They could be all good, but that contract is meaningless if they treat it as meaningless.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. So it's just a little thing to watch out for. And it just means you need to have another conversation. You know, it doesn't mean you don't sign with him. It doesn't mean he's not your partner. You need to have the conversation and get it clear that, hey, if at any time in the future we disagree and we need to come back to a set of points, or we need to activate our exit and separate clauses, we need to seriously agree on this right now. Like, these are really important clauses. You know, if we're just flippant about them, you know, so you just have a conversation. The guy might go, sorry, I've got shitloads going on in my brain right now and I'm not really paying attention. I'm just getting it done because it needs to be done. You know what I mean? It's just look for it and then deal with what you see.
Yeah, we actually have somebody that's helping us that's actually built everything and already exited out of a business and building up stuff like that. So we've kind of got him mentoring us a little bit because it was more or less of his idea. And I thought when it came to the table that he was actually, you know, it was going to be a little different, but he was like, man, I just want to see y'all two fucking join together. Why fight each other? Just join together and build. Yeah. He said, let the egos down and just rock with it. He was like, you know, it took 3 of us to build what we built. So at the end of the day, y'all can continue building your own thing one by one. But at the end of the day, you know, you probably might only get so far. But if you actually put two together, you can get a little bit farther.
There's no doubt.
Yeah, There's one metaphor I heard the other day. I heard it in a different context, and I related it to sport. And that is, did you ever play basketball or football, Nick?
Yeah, I played football. I didn't play basketball at all.
Okay, so I don't know much about football, so I'm going to try and convert it to football. But if you're a really good quarterback, and you know the game, but now you want to move up in the field. You don't want to just be like a 4-year, 6-year type of paycheck. You want to be on like 10 years, 10, 15 years, something. You got to now be on the coaching staff. You got to move yourself into being above the team and the players run the plays for you.
Right.
So now once you're a coach and you're a quarterback, because there's the only player I know, and your quarterback isn't doing the thing that you would have done and you know to do it, it's not our role as coach to go back on the field in the game and then run it for him. Our role as coach is to talk to him because he's supposed to do that role. Not, even though we can do it because we were able to do it, we now have to run ourselves as coach. And then as the organization grows, what I've been explained, now you're no longer coach, you're the owner of the team. So you're not even coaching the team. You're now running the financials of the corporation. You're now setting up deals. You're now making sure that you're not even hiring the coaches because you got someone to hire the right coach.
Right.
You know, so like there's like levels on how you look at like the management of how that organization grows. And so now if you're going to step back from being always on the tools and to like running the business side and putting yourself into marketing, it's about going, okay, he handles the tools, he handles the staff, he handles this. I'm going to handle marketing. I'm going to handle getting the next clients. I'm the better salesman. You know, like that's.
Yeah, I'm definitely closing a lot bigger jobs. So when it comes down to it, that aspect, I do that part. But it would be ideal to actually have somebody that could actually be the worker. And then me kind of step back and not necessarily be the worker constantly, but still be there and be by example and work. But
Yep.
it'll give me a better chance to be able to go out and go build this business up.
Yeah,
Then
that's exciting.
it'll give me the opportunity to get out and go train other guys as well too, because I already know that he's established. He can do his own thing. He can run a crew of his own to run his stuff. Now I need to turn around and get SOPs of how they're running their crew, then turn around and duplicate that into another crew.
Yeah,
Duplicate
exactly.
that into another crew and another crew and another crew and another crew.
And that's your scale. Yeah.
So
Brilliant.
I mean, a lot of people say don't get too big, don't do this, don't do that. But I don't listen to other people's insecurities and stuff like that. That is something that where they plateaued out. That's something that they have in their mind. But in my mind, I don't ever do anything small. I'm gonna go real big, and then when I do this, I'm really gonna take this to some big levels. And when I say that, I'm going to do it because I've already done what I've done now. And I just know that it's going to happen.
No, you're spot on, bro. And I love the idea of having this guy who can run a truck, because you can do all your SOPs. You can set up, like, if you treat your business like a franchise, but you never franchise, right? You'll have this knowledge that you need to make a profitable territory or a profitable run, and all the systems and processes are all documented. Every single step is a document on how to do it, because that's what a franchise is. It's the sale of a business process that's proven to work. And you make a business process that's proven to work out of his truck with you, because he hasn't got the time to do it and you haven't got the time to do it now. But when he's working and your second truck's off not got a job, you go and focus on putting his systems and processes together. And then all of a sudden the third truck's a no-brainer, isn't it?
Yeah, I actually just did training SOPs to help the guys out right now with my trucks the way that they are. And those SOPs basically explain to them how everything functions on each truck. And from the tools, I mean, like the surface cleaners and stuff like that they would use, how to plug them in, the whole 9 yards. I did everything. There is no excuse on why when you come here that you should not succeed. I'm setting you up to succeed. I don't want to watch you come here and fucking fail, because that does me no good.
Yeah, that's not the game plan.
No, and I'm tired of sitting here explaining myself constantly day in and day out, because if I'm having to explain myself on every job, then that just takes away from production, my train of thought, because I'm there on a big job site and I'm having to think on the fly, because the way that I game planned for that job originally is not going to happen the way that I game planned for that job to happen originally. What's going to happen is I'm going to get into that job and I'm going to start doing it the way that I originally planned, and shit's going to start popping up. And the next thing you know, I've got to start thinking on the fly. And if I don't do that, then I'm going to fail and I ain't going to have that job. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, that's it. Fascinating. Hey, I should respect your time, Nick, even though we've run an hour together. So
I'm yawning, I'm about to pass out.
No, you're doing great, bro. Let's You've done fantastic at the end of the day, and I know you've run yourself hard today. So
at the beginning, I probably should have just came on with this.
It's all that does. Who cares? Nobody. We had
a good chat. That's what it is. I just thought that my computer was all set up, and I was like, I'll just do the computer thing.
Fair enough. All right, send the bill to Ben Bergloff for the repair.
All right. So shit, y'all have a good night. I greatly appreciate y'all having me on. I hope
no, you're amazing, mate. You're amazing. We'll talk again, okay? Thank you very much. Yeah, for sure. Okay, mate. See you, bud.
See you.
All right, that's a wrap. We will see you guys on tomorrow.
Yeah, with Jim Prom. Right. He's a famous guy.
That's right. Yep.
Yep. Fantastic.
All right. We will see you guys tomorrow. Okay. Thank you so much for joining our live stream today and being part of our Service Six Sigma community and part of our live stream today. If there are any guests that you think that would be great for our live stream, please send them our way. We are looking for all sorts of business owners and guest speakers for our podcast. Thirdly, if there are any chance that you could please share this podcast to your Facebook, reshare it, and to any other business owners and entrepreneurs that are in our industry. We really want to share this podcast to as many people as we can in this industry. We want to thank you again for joining our live stream today, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.